stepping into the unknown, it was for months for me.
Yeah.
And how could I have dealt with that pressure in my chest better?
What was the pressure?
It's like
in your chest?
Well, I suppose people would call it maybe anxiety. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. It was like a pressure in the middle of your chest.
Yeah. You just said something, I'm going to come back to what you said. You said something really powerful and useful. She felt something and she said, I don't know, I guess that's what people call anxiety. I'll keep coming back to this. We take a bunch of sensations and put them together and we give it a label like, oh, that's anxiety, that's this, that's that. And then when you say the word anxiety, guess what? You've told yourself how to feel. So then you feel that. It's good because you don't have a reference point, because I'm guessing from what you're saying, you're like, well, I've not had anxiety before, but I guess this is what it feels like. Anyone?
Somebody said to me earlier this year, I was on a course, and somebody said that anxiety and excitement are just different ends of the same piece of string. And it's actually the way that you deal with that feeling of anxiety or feeling anxious is actually whether you have this label of anxiety, or you feel anxious, which is a negative, or you actually embrace it and look at it as an opportunity and get excited about it. So it's an opportunity for change. Because most anxiety is generated from within. And pretty much all excitement is generated from within. And so they said, if you want to actually not stop feeling anxious, just move towards the exciting part of it. And if that excitement isn't something that you want, then just get rid of that excitement. Don't get rid of the anxiety. And I found that really helped me on this sort of journey I'm on, because I don't have a job anymore. I'm doing something totally different. And actually, if I think of it as exciting, it's fine. If I label it as anxiety, that worries me, and you get a tight chest, and you feel anxious.
Yes.
And they're all negative words. And it's a bit like, at the same time, people are talking about I suffer from, and giving all these illnesses.
Yeah.
If you don't give things labels, then they can't exist.
Yes.
And as I say, come back to this piece of string. Take your anxiety towards the excitement stage if you can.
Yeah, great. Thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah, let's give him a round of applause. I'll come back to your point in a minute, because it's actually very, very powerful what you're sharing, the bigger thing that you're sharing. What if you just stayed with that sensation without giving it the label? Right? So, okay, I had a tightness in my chest, and it was this feeling of tightness in my chest, rather than calling it something which would then mean, oh, I should then feel these other feelings too. Do you know what I mean?
I did. I didn't think it was anxiety to start with. I'm only looking back.
I was just using what you were saying as a teaching point. I'm not saying, you didn't know that, but continue, please.
So I think it was a fear. There was a fear inside of me, and it was all being held here. So how could I have handled that fear without, for that amount of time? It was like never. It felt like it was never ending.
What was the fear?
The fear of losing it all, losing everything, if it didn't go through.
Losing the business?
Pardon?
Losing the business?
No,
what's everything?
Losing what I had attached to selling the business.
And what did you attach?
Financial freedom.
Okay.
And free from responsibility.
Okay.
Freedom from responsibility.
Sure.
Freedom from fear. Everything I had attached to me selling the business.
Yeah.
So that I felt, to forget the financial side of it for the moment, it was just everything. I felt a lot more was attached to it. I could start my new life, whatever that was going to be.
Yeah. And who gave that attachment to it?
Well, me.
Like who? Yeah. And that's the thing that sometimes we tend to not maybe be aware of. That the meaning, right, you guys are so ahead, you're just jumping ahead now, I'll just jump ahead with you, fine. And this is really good, actually, it's coming up. One of our greatest powers as human beings is our ability to give meaning. and meaning to, well, really anything. So the reason, correct me if I'm wrong or off with any of this, the reason you were feeling the tightness in your chest and whatever you want to call it, anxiety, or you're suffering in that time, was because there was a certain meaning you gave it. I have to sell my business by this point, otherwise I'm going to lose all my freedom or financial freedom. And whatever other meanings you gave it. So that was almost like a time limit, and then you're putting pressure on yourself because the meaning was financial freedom and loss of financial freedom.
And also, it was an emotional thing for me where I felt, because I'd committed to selling my business, I was starting to withdraw myself from the business and not putting the energy in. And I thought, if this doesn't happen, I just can't put the energy in again. I just won't be able to do it.
Wow.
I've got no energy. It needs to happen.
Yeah. Careful what you think, because you may just believe yourself. Careful what you think or say to yourself, because you may just believe yourself. Because if you say, I don't have any more energy, then what do you start feeling? A lack of energy. I don't think I can do this anymore. What happens? You start feeling, oh shit, I don't think I can do this anymore. And then sometimes we just make it like a mantra and we're not aware of it. It's just going on inside of us over and over and over again. I don't have energy, I can't do this, I don't have energy, I can't do this. Shit, what if I lose my financial freedom? Shit. And then you keep doing it day after day, week after week for months.
I was exhausted.
Yeah. That's the thing that's exhausting. That's the thing that's exhausting. Sometimes we think, oh my God, why am I so exhausted? And a lot of times it doesn't happen very often. It happens once a year in this time of the year called holiday. Because your life goes, yeah, now I got ya. And then that's when we get sick as well. Yeah, all of that stuff, here you go, deal with it. Right? Because we tend not to stop. We go, I'm going to keep going all year long. And then that's when all of that stuff comes for us to deal with. So, the meaning that we give, the thoughts that we say and believe, and then, what we start to feel, this is all generated internally. Remember I said before about, like, through our thoughts, in our thinking. Not sure if I said it before. Through our thinking, we create our world. Our thoughts, we create our world. So, careful what you think and say to yourself. And thoughts, fine, you might have the thoughts, but careful what thoughts you believe.
So
Don't believe everything you think.
So would you say meditation would have helped? Because you do think a lot. And meditation.
Yeah, meditation helps, but it's also looking at it like this and having this kind of a conversation and bringing awareness. So paying attention to it on this level where you start to see, like, hang on, I'm doing this to myself, and like stop it. Like just stop it. Sometimes we do certain things. We keep like flogging, like beating ourselves up, or beating ourselves down. Stop it. And it's difficult for you to stop it when you're not aware of it. So the process begins with awareness. And meditation may help, but sometimes meditation is this word that people are confused with. A lot of people, they close their eyes and they fall asleep. Meditation is when you close your eyes and you wake up. Wake up. Pay attention. That's what meditation is. So you start to see what's going on inside. Start to see how you're showing up in that moment. And start to see what thoughts are playing out in your mind. Like a mantra over and over again. I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, I don't have energy. Oh, I can't do this anymore, I don't have the energy. Stop saying that to yourself. Interrupt it. Some of you have done NLP, I saw some hands going up before. Interrupt the pattern. Start becoming aware of the patterns that play out in your mind over and over again, like a broken record, like a CD, and scratch it And keep scratching it, keep interrupting it until it can't play anymore. That's the work when you have the awareness. So keep catching yourself up when you're saying things to yourself that are disempowering, that is putting yourself down, that is beating yourself up, that is just not useful. Stop it. Just stop it. Cut it out. With awareness. Yeah. And you can't do that unless you have the awareness. So that's why breathing, feeling into your body, meditation helps as well. You know, doing something in your body like moving. I mean, you know, I would say yoga, but you can practice yoga in an unconscious way. You know, or you can practice it in a conscious way. You can be doing, you know, you can be doing anything through your day, consciously or unconsciously. So bring consciousness, bring awareness to each moment. And the body and the breath is always in the present moment, so it's much easier for us to be awake and aware. I hope you enjoyed that. Remember to leave me a comment below or any questions you may have about the topic covered. And if you haven't done so yet, hit subscribe and the bell icon so you'll be the first to know when I upload my next video. Also, if you know someone who may benefit from this video, please hit share and share it with them. Lastly, I commend you for your commitment to growth and personal transformation. Here's to your epic awakened life. See you in my next video.